Good evening. It is time to meet the specialist and unlock the best of cloud. Are you ready? If you just said something out loud back to your screen, then you are definitely ready. Welcome back, and thank you for joining us again for the live stream of the NetApp Insight 2020 digital event. I'm Lena Nguyen, and on behalf of NetApp, here's a big hello to our partners, customers, prospects, employees, analysts, and media joining us today. There are plenty more cloud insights to celebrate today as we dig into transforming your business for agility and speed. Believe me, all the buzzwords about optimizing for the future, getting your Kubernetes sorted out, all that on-prem, cloud native, blah, blah, blah stuff, you're going to hear it all, and it's going to be great. Here's what else is happening during today's live stream, as told by the very people who will be bringing it to you.
Hi, I'm Yaron Chaimson in Israel. I'm about to tell you how to get more value out of your data. Stay tuned.
I'm Phoebe Go, and I'm hosting the NetApp Newsreel at NetApp Insight. Make sure you tune in for all the breaking news across the NetApp portfolio. Can't wait to see you there.
So I may not be able to paint a portrait, but I can bring you the Data Fabric mega session. So join myself and the specialist later on in the show.
Hi, I'm Kim. Stick around to hear Jeff and I discuss how we're keeping up the pace of innovation in the next release of Data on Tap.
As I said, we've got a great lineup on tap, so stay tuned for all of it. By now, you're probably quite familiar with how the Insight digital platform works, but if you need some tips and tricks on getting around, there's an orientation video on the main page that you can check out for more info. Technical support for the event, should you need it, can be found at the question mark at the top of the screen. And remember, we have a fun, super fun competition going on here at Insight. The more you see, the more you do, the longer you stick around and engage, well, that gets you more points that you can rack up to scoop up some swag in the NetApp store. Now we are just moments away from NetApp President Cesar Cernuda's Vision keynote, which is truly impressive, with another great lineup of partners and guests from the world of cloud. Now, just a quick programming note. If you miss any of the live stream, the content will appear later today in the on-demand content library. Time now to find out about the buzz that's building for Insight. Let's check in with NetApp Director of Social and Influence, Julie Hsu. Julie, welcome back.
Lena, good to see you again. How are you?
Doing great after an amazing first day. So what's the good word out there in social media land?
Wow, what a day we had together yesterday. The amount of comments, questions, and shout out we got was tremendous. Thank you, and let's keep it up today. I myself had some interesting back and forth with a few new chat buddies, and I engaged with your fun comments using emojis. Yes, I use a lot of emojis. We'd also like to know your setup when watching NetApp Insight. Send a photo over using hashtag NetApp Insight and let us know. Next up, we'd love to see all of you on Keynote. Jump onto your favorite social channel now, and we'll see you there. Back to you, Lena.
Awesome. Thanks, Julie. Well, the clock is ticking down to the Vision keynote session with Cesar Cernuda. NetApp CMO James Whitemore is back. James, what's the good word for today?
Hi, Lena. It's great to be back. You know, what an amazing day it was yesterday. We heard from Microsoft. We heard from IBM. We heard from AWS. And yep, you guessed it. Today we're going to hear from Google. And you're going to be seeing double during that session. Just wait and see.
So this is a new experience for NetApp. After day one, how do you think it's going?
I know we're still trapped in these digital boxes. But, you know, so far, I'm like, what really has impressed me is the level of social interaction between the community in the chat rooms and on all the social channels. And that's so important because people are here not just to learn from us, but to learn from each other and share their experiences. So I love to see that social interaction.
Well, James, the time is here for the official kickoff to the program. Will you please do the honors?
I will. And ladies, gentlemen, everyone beyond and in between, whoever you are, wherever you are, we are thrilled that you are with us today. So let's get this show started.
NetApp can't make next summer's blockbuster animated film. We're not here just to make you smile. And there's no way we're going to win pole position in MotoGP. We can't do what our customers do, but we can help them do what they do better. At NetApp, we're relentlessly focused on helping you get more out of all the things that matter to your business. Get more out of your digital workforce. Get more from your IT investments. Get more out of your containers, apps, and data center. Because whether you're on-prem, in the cloud, or somewhere in between, NetApp is here to help you optimize, integrate, connect, adapt, and protect the business resource that matters most in your new normal. Your data. That's your differentiator. And that's why you're here, isn't it? To meet the specialists? It's definitely why we're here, to help you unlock the best of cloud. Get ready, because the game is about to change. Insight 2020 Digital begins now.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome, and thank you for joining us on day 2 of Insights 2020. I'm Cesar Cernuda, President of NetApp, and it's wonderful to be with all of you. This is my 4th month at NetApp, and it's my first Insight. And I think it's fair to say I couldn't have picked a more interesting or exciting time to join. As others have pointed out, the COVID-19 pandemic has put our world on the fast track to transformation. Changes that were happening slowly and now taking place overnight. Whether we're ready for it or not, we're entering a new era. And that means we have to adapt, we have to change. It can be scary, but it can also be a chance for bold innovation, reviewing old practices, reimagining what's possible, and reaching for big new goals. In many ways, this year's Insight is a perfect example. A year ago, we could never have predicted that a once-in-a-century pandemic will force us all to go remote. And yet here we are, tens of thousands of people, more than ever before, interacting virtually across the globe. It's not what we had planned, but in some ways it's even better, or at least more dynamic, creative, and accessible than ever before to everybody. And it's a reminder of some timeless lessons. External transformation demands internal transformation. Challenges can become opportunities. And in the end, everything comes down to action. The companies that take bold, decisive action to transform today are the ones who will be ready to overcome the challenges and seize opportunities for tomorrow. So how do you transform for a future where the only constant is change? And not just change, but increasingly fast and disruptive change. That's what we're going to talk about today. At NetApp, we know that transformation means different things to different customers. Every customer is in a different place on their journey to the cloud. Every customer brings their own unique perspective and set of challenges. Every customer has different imperatives. For some, it's all about artificial intelligence. For others, it's digital transformation. Others are talking about cloud acceleration. And that's not to mention modernizing applications and infrastructure to include standardization, abstraction, and automation, refactoring, and replacement. But across the board, a few things are clear, as I'm hearing directly from our customers every day. First, data is at the heart of everything our customers do. To instantly adapt to a rapidly changing landscape, our customers need to have access to the right data, at the right time, at the right place, and at the right pace. That means, as our customers move workloads to the cloud, we need to deliver the same experience that they have come to expect from their enterprise data center. And it goes both ways. They also need those amazing innovation, driving cloud capabilities delivered seamlessly on-premise. But that's not all. As they prepare to move their most mission-critical applications and enterprise apps, they need to feel confident. They'll get the performance, latency, reliability, and security that their data demands. These are the needs our NetApp specialists are uniquely prepared to meet. NetApp's data legacy extends back over 30 years, and our rich set of software services is designed to span and connect their data center hybrid and public clouds. Our specialists help customers unlock the best of cloud and modernize at their own pace. We're all about optimizing your stored data so you can reduce costs and improve performance. And we can help customers build their data fabric and integrate disparate platforms connecting their data to the people and applications that need it, no matter where this data is or where it might need to be in the future. In fact, we have the only storage service compatible across every cloud. Data center, public cloud, or customers need and want both. And our response to our customers is we will meet you where you are. Throughout the day, you'll hear more about the ways we can help you on your journey to the cloud, connecting and extending the data center, integrating cloud capabilities and technologies with on-premise architectures, and analyzing your stored data so you can maximize security, remain compliant, and keep running your business every day. Let's be honest, the people we all serve don't care where the data is stored. They're just looking for us to deliver the right experience. And if we do our job right, our customers won't have to think about us at all. They can focus on their own important work, researching vaccines, creating jaw-dropping animations that entertain our kids while we escape to cook dinner, financing mortgages for new homeowners, whatever you want. And they can do this work better than anyone. But behind the scenes, our employees are spending every waking moment thinking about how to shave off that nanosecond of latency, how to store each business data in such a way that is useful immediately as soon as it's needed. And that's really magical. It can be the difference between a highly effective, highly valuable company and one that falls short of its potential. At NetApp, we obsess about your storage, so you don't have to. And now, at this moment of tremendous disruption and transformation, and yes, opportunity, we're here to help you take action to accelerate your move to the cloud with simplicity and confidence. We have the expertise, the technology, and the partnership to make it happen. We're ready to share insights into some of those valuable partnerships today. And let me tell you, we have an amazing lineup. So how about we just get this started? First, I'd like to welcome back our CEO, George Kurian, and a very special guest, Thomas Kurian, CEO from Google Cloud. Hold on, I can't tell which one is our CEO and which one is Thomas. But we got a very special guest who I think can help us. Mr. Kurian, who is who?
Hello, everybody. George is the one with the pink shirt.
Thank you, Mom. I am so excited to have two of the people that have been so important in my life. My mother, who was the guiding force that shaped both Thomas and my life in so many important ways, and who continues to be such a strong influence on our lives and the lives of our family. And I'm really honored to have my best friend and distinguished CEO of Google Cloud, Thomas Kurian, my twin brother, who's been with me my entire life. And Thomas, you are leading Google Cloud through a tremendous period of growth and evolution. We've worked with your team for several years now. Can you talk about your approach to working with customers and how you're enabling their digital transformations?
Thank you, George, and thank you to your teams for the great collaboration we've had this last year. We see organizations looking at solutions with cloud providers for two important things. One is around lowering their IT cost because they're facing economic challenges and they want to move to cloud as a mechanism to get a more efficient and agile IT infrastructure. The second is the shift to digital. People want to get new innovations to change their business model. And fundamentally, whether that's a retailer looking at e-commerce, a financial institution looking at new ways to use data to identify business opportunities, a manufacturer looking at how they change their manufacturing shop floor using sensor technology and IoT, all of them eventually boil down to unlocking new business models using the power of data. And that's where the collaboration between Google Cloud and NetApp come together. We've had the great fortune of working together to solve business problems for lots of customers, Renault, Deutsche Bank, Telecom Italia, and others. And NetApp's teams have done an awesome job working with us to deliver common solutions that improve performance, scale, ease of migration, and transform the business value of data to solve business problems for customers. So thank you again. Thank you for having us at this event, and thank you for the great work your teams have done with us.
Thank you, Thomas. You know, it's great that we are able to combine the data-rich, data analytical capabilities of the Google Cloud and the awesome scale and capabilities of your infrastructure, together with the data management and data services that NetApp has. You know, we're proud to work with Google on an expanding range of things we're doing together with you for customers. You know, I'd like to talk to you about the business value we bring to customers around simplifying the work that they have to do by working together.
You know, Google Cloud has grown extremely rapidly these past 18 months. And the reason is that we are working with a broad ecosystem of partners to deliver joint solutions. You know, and NetApp delivers three important value propositions for our customers. First one, improving the ease of migrating complex workloads, whether that is a mission-critical workload like SAP, or helping people who are using a combination of Windows and Linux to move SMB and NFS into a common platform, or to get better scale and performance. So one, we have a lot of joint solutions. The second is that because we've integrated the tool set, it's made it much easier for people to move quickly and get the business results and the business value from shifting to a cloud model very quickly. The third one that we find incredibly valuable is that customers now see Google offering a broader set of solutions, multi-cloud, for example, being able to use our technology on multiple platforms, hybrid cloud. And in a number of those scenarios, the work that we're doing together with your teams and the common product offerings broadens our value proposition. Machine learning on data that you've moved into the cloud using NetApp files, for example, and cloud volumes. The ability to run new types of computation with high performance computing. All of those are values that we can unlock together because of the great work our teams have done to put these solutions together.
You know, we talk about the idea of making data easy to manage in hybrid and multi-cloud data fabric. And, you know, let's talk about how our teams work together to meet the needs of a specific customer, Activision. As the pandemic, hit the world, the gaming industry was challenged with the ability to scale to meet the demands of more than 300 million gamers around the world. Activision turned to Google Cloud to enhance their gaming infrastructure to meet this rapidly scaling demand. And our joint solutions were able to help them to respond to the needs of their business really quickly. Can you share some highlights from their story?
Activision chose Google Cloud to run the gaming platform because we have world-class, high-performance compute and storage solutions. And we offer a very broad network that allows them to take their games close to, with super low latency, to users around the world. So they were able to move very quickly to deliver games to people who had a lot of time on their hands, being at home. And they were able to do that with a combination of NetApp and Google Cloud. The role that NetApp played, a game consists of lots of files, images, metadata that the gaming system uses to compute what the gamers need to experience, as well as analytics that people are doing to understand how to deliver the best experiences within the game to the gamers. All that data was managed on Google Cloud using NetApp Cloud Volumes, and we were able to make the ability because of the combination of our products, we were able to allow Activision to move that data quickly into the cloud, to deliver new experiences, and most importantly, because it's a fully managed offering, not to have to worry about the scalability, the response time, and the performance that they would need to deliver.
Awesome story. Real customer value delivered in real time. We're looking forward to doing a lot more together, particularly as Google Cloud brings its solutions to the enterprise data center. What's next on the horizon that you see for Google Cloud and for our partnership, and how does that benefit customers?
We are very happy to be working with your team to deliver joint solutions where we meet the customer on their cloud journey where they are. And that's a super important philosophical principle that we share with you at NetApp. Now, one of the important things we're doing is bringing our cloud technology to enterprises, and we are working with you in 3 important ways going forward. One is broadening the solution catalog that we can offer customers. We are expanding the portfolio of solutions we're offering with you to include our hybrid and private cloud offerings, including solutions for not just virtual machines, but container native solutions. We're bringing Anthos to you, common customers, Anthos being our multi-cloud Kubernetes solution, another place we're working together. And we're looking at a number of other solutions for mission-critical analytic applications, virtual desktops, and other things. The second is we are bringing together our customer service organizations so that when a customer like Activision Blizzard has mission-critical workload running on our cloud, you can trust that you will get 5-minute response time from our support organization, and we have collaborative support with NetApp to deliver a joint solution with super critical response time and other problem resolution processes. Third, we continue to invest in bringing our sales organizations together so that customers can find it much easier to contract on joint solutions, to get the expertise from both our organizations, your deep understanding of a customer's data center and storage requirements, and our expertise in cloud computing. And I just wanted to say thank you to all our common customers. Thank you to all the prospects we share. And most importantly, George, thank you to you and your team. We're thrilled to have done so much work with you this last year.
Thank you, Thomas. It's great to have you at NetApp Insight. Thank you for coming. We are super excited. We've made so many strides working with your teams over the past year. And I think, as you said, the future is really bright working across your organization. So thanks to Google Cloud. Thank you to you. And we'll see you this weekend.
Yes, congratulations to your team. Congratulations on this great event. And I look forward to seeing you this weekend. Bye-bye.
George, Thomas, so nice to have you both here. What a great session. And Thomas, special thanks to you. It means a lot for you to share your valuable perspective into our strategic partnership. And hey, I'm pretty sure this is the first time we had twin CEOs at Insight, so a landmark year all around. Okay, so over the last 2 days, you've heard from the world's biggest cloud providers, longtime partners we're working closely with to deliver enterprise cloud and data services. Services built on ONTAP, the world's #1 cloud operating system. We bring the performance, the efficiency, the availability of mission-critical apps to all the leading clouds. If we can power the biggest clouds, just imagine what we can do for your own data center. We've been engineering the right software and systems to meet you right where you are on your journey. And now I'd like to introduce you to the art and science behind that operating environment. They're here to share how NetApp can help you build that global scale and cloud experience into your data center. Let me welcome Brad Anderson and his twin, Nancy Hart.
Hey, thank you, Cesar, and welcome. I'm Brad Anderson, Executive Vice President of the Hybrid Cloud Group, and I'm joined by my twin, Nancy Hart, Marketing Extraordinaire.
Hello, Brad. Great to see you. Hello, everyone out there. My name is Nancy Hart, Vice President of Geo-Marketing and Competitive Solutions. Brad, I love that we're twins, although it's going to be kind of hard to see which one of us you think is the better looking of the twins. Wasn't it great to see the twins earlier and to hear Thomas and George talk about all the cloud innovation, talk about the depth of the partnership with Google Cloud. But Brad, I got to ask you, is it really only just about the public cloud?
If I'm balanced, customers value both. Hybrid cloud's kind of the de facto standard, so they need on-premises and they need public cloud, and only NetApp can provide them both a seamless set of capabilities from on-premise to public cloud.
And that's really something how our approach to hybrid cloud is different than how you see other folks in the market, right? With our approach is powered by ONTAP everywhere. It's not behind some sort of walled garden. It's a common set of data services. So many benefits to our customers with our approach here.
No, Nancy, that is so true because, think about ONTAP. We run ONTAP on premises. We run ONTAP in public cloud. We've been running ONTAP for 25 plus years on premises, 25 plus years of innovation, 25 plus years of running the most demanding workloads for the largest companies across all those verticals. Are you surprised that when the public clouds looked for a storage OS, they came to NetApp and ONTAP? Of course they came here.
Of course they came here. I'm not surprised at all. Who else would they go to? Because if they can trust us, nobody. They can trust us. All those customers that are running their mission critical workloads, and it could be their databases that are running their business. It could be this transition to HANA. It could be all their VMware farms. It also can be new workloads, AI, machine learning, analytics. Think about our power of ONTAP everywhere and the hybrid cloud approach that we have to support all those workloads on-prem and in the cloud or in a hybrid environment.
Well, and that's what really separates ONTAP and NetApp. You can run primary and secondary on-prem. You can run primary and secondary in the cloud. You can basically start where you need to for your business requirements, not for where the vendor wants you, but for your business requirements. Take that journey and be completely investment protected.
And that is what makes NetApp so unique in the market, is helping customers to build their data fabric and to meet them where they are today and help them get there tomorrow. It's fantastic benefits that we can provide to our users. But it's not really just only about public and hybrid cloud. A lot of innovation happening around public clouds is too, or private clouds as well.
Well, absolutely. So, I'm really glad you asked me that because, so I'm super proud of ONTAP. I think you can sense that, but a lot of customers are building their private clouds out of, industry standing building blocks. They want to do it on commodity servers. For them, we got HCI. We got our Solifire technology. Take HCI just for a second. Nancy, 2 years ago, I stood up and called it hybrid cloud infrastructure. Now everybody's talking about hybrid cloud infrastructure, not HCI. And so we're going to take that another level. If you listen to Yancey and team yesterday, this little thing called Astra, we're taking it to a whole nother level that had Kubernetes-based storage to that technology.
A whole nother level. And I remember when you went out on that limb, Brad, because I was out there on that limb with you, and it made me proud that you're my twin. Right? But cloud is so much more than just the technology. Cloud is really about the whole experience. What do you see in there?
Well, so the experience is super important because people want it easy. They want it easy to buy. They want it easy to operate. They want it easy to consume. And you're going to hear a whole lot this week about advancements in all of that. But you know what? The piece that people tend to want to overlook, particularly our competitors, Nancy, is you got to be in public cloud to make it easy on premise. When you bring that cloud-like experience, don't you think if we're powering Azure and Google storage, that we can power and make it easy for your own data center?
Are you asking if I think that? Because I don't think that. I know that. Brad, I know that if we can do cloud storage scale, we can meet the requirements and needs of any data center today.
And that's what really separates us, Nancy, from everyone else. The fact that we have the same storage operating system on premise and the same in the cloud, and it's connected by the NetApp data fabric. Nobody can match that. And so I've heard you say it 2 or 3 times. We're meeting customers where they are. As simple as that sounds, that's pretty damn hard.
That is pretty hard. And hybrid clouds thrive on that kind of simplicity, the common experience and common data services, and the flexibility. Brad, it's going to be such an exciting insight.
Well, it is. We got a lot. To show, and I don't want to take away from Jeff and Kim, who's going to follow us with all the nerve knob sessions. But I want to come back to the point I started with. On-premise is super important to almost all our customers. They're still running their enterprise data workloads, and we're going to continue to innovate there and continue to, it's going to be 26 plus years of industry leadership coming up here because we're not letting up. And so I'm excited to share this with you, Nancy.
Thank you. It was great to chat with you as always, Brad. And I love having these kind of conversations. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nancy. And let's throw it to Jeff and Kim to talk about what's coming next.
Hi, I'm Jeff Baxter, Senior Director of Product Management for ONTAP here at NetApp. And we're here to talk about ONTAP, the #1 storage OS both on-prem and in the cloud.
And I'm Kim Weller, Director of Solutions Engineering. I'm so excited that after 28 years of innovation, we are just not stopping.
We're continuing the innovation with version 9.8 of ONTAP, including more simplicity, support for new platforms, and greater hybrid cloud connectivity support.
Can't wait to hear more, Jeff. Let's dive in.
Absolutely. We've worked hard with ONTAP 9.8 to simplify operations and streamline common workflows. System Manager, the onboard GUI, has been improved to make it easier than ever before to manage your storage infrastructure.
And as a longtime NetApper, I'm confident our ONTAP admins out there would love a sneak peek.
Well, then you are in luck. I just happened to have a demo. So this is the new System Manager. Yeah, this is the new System Manager. We go right in and you can get visualization of your hardware across your entire cluster and see at a glance how that hardware is doing. You can dive into your capacity and see what sort of storage efficiency savings you're getting, as well as any data you're tearing out to the cloud. And you can see the performance at a glance in real time, your latency, your throughput, your IOPS. And you can visualize your entire infrastructure from storage all the way down to your applications, that entire flow of data. Further, with our new File Explorer capability, you can actually drill down into individual volumes into your file system. You can see your directory, your files, how much space they're using, and you can even see how recently they've been modified. Finally, and importantly, it's easier than ever to keep ONTAP up to date. With one-click, non-disruptive upgrades of ONTAP across your entire cluster, both ONTAP and the underlying hardware firmware. So that's just a sneak peek, Kim, of all the amazing things going on in System Manager.
That's fantastic. But ONTAP 9.8 also delivers support for new platforms that further innovate with Flash, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We've added the A250 to our lineup, which fully fleshes out our end-to-end NVMe portfolio. It means that we have the most powerful solution for customers at any entry point, no matter what workloads you throw at us. The A250 packs an incredibly powerful punch at an attractive price point.
Can I talk about the next offering? I'm pretty stoked about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Rock on. Go for it.
Okay, we're also innovating to help customers leverage Flash into even more workloads with our new FAS 500F. It's the first NetApp product to support the newest type of flash memory, QLC, over 1 petabyte in 2RU.
Wait, 2 rack units? That's like, what, about this high?
Got
Crazy
it.
small.
You've been working so much on cloud connectivity, I thought it might be fuzzy.
I mean, that's funny. We've been spending a lot of time on cloud, but innovation in our hardware portfolio still remains critical for our customers. And QLC is great for those workloads that need the characteristics of Flash, but without all the cost. It's something to explore for those tier 2 workloads, large unstructured data workloads, and secondary consolidation.
Yeah, next, it should come as no surprise to our customers that the next version of ONTAP, like those before it, brings greater storage efficiencies of up to 33%, which equals more data in a smaller footprint at a lower cost.
Our new temperature-sensitive storage efficiency technology keeps your data performant when it's hot, and it compresses it down and makes it as efficient as possible as it gets cold.
Jeff, our attendees just heard Brad and Nancy talk about a hybrid cloud built with NetApp. ONTAP 9.8 is a huge part of that. The release includes even more cloud connectivity. Can we share a few examples?
Yeah, you bet. ONTAP 9.8 allows customers to instantly deliver data to support efficient hybrid collaboration across your hybrid cloud. That's FlexCache now with SMB. And we've taken strides to intelligently tier more of your data across more of your hybrid cloud to reduce TCO, whether to object in the cloud or to storage grid on-prem. You want to guess the next one?
Oh, no need to guess. I'm pretty excited about this one. ONTAP 9.8 lets our customers protect data to an object store on-prem or in the public cloud from ONTAP on-prem or in the public cloud, which is really cool. And we've just covered a small sample of the great new features in ONTAP 9.8 that bring you amazing flexibility as you deploy your hybrid cloud.
We know managing data is hard. As a product manager at NetApp who lives and breathes storage, I can tell you we're committed to bringing you the latest in innovation, simplicity, and connectivity to your data centers. We're keeping a pace of rapid innovation in both software and hardware.
And as someone who works with our customers, I can say we're lucky to have Jeff and his team tackling your biggest challenges. Whether it's ONTAP 9.8 streamlining your operational tasks, driving flash into the portfolio, or greater hybrid cloud connectivity, NetApp has you covered on-prem, in the cloud, or both.
And that's all powered by ONTAP. So stay tuned. Matt Watts is up to tell you more about the data fabric.
And thanks again for your time. Don't forget to explore netapp.com for all the details.
Creating a digital human for us is really understanding ourselves.
I'm Siren, and I'm a digital human.
Understanding how we look, how we move, and in the future, hopefully, how we think. It just takes so much data to build a model that is meaningful.
With the next generation scanner, we are going to generate 70 gigabytes of data per second, around 1 petabyte per day. We had a problem when we started to scale. Our storage wasn't big enough, it wasn't fast enough. We realized that NetApp allowed us to capture the data in a way we thought that was previously impossible, and improve the lives of our developer by allowing us to integrate Data Fabric into our pipeline.
Data Fabric is definitely our gateway to the cloud. That's how we switch from local into more global compute. We're hoping to develop a framework where people, whether that's in medical or biometrics or entertainment or research, will each in their own field be able to use that framework and create something amazing.
Freelateral is one of the most amazing visionary companies in the world. They're constantly pushing the boundaries of what's possible in creating digital humans with an unprecedented level of realism and sophistication. And as you might imagine, this takes a massive amount of data. We've been partnering them to develop their data fabric, and it allows them to seamlessly access petabytes of data from multiple platforms across multiple locations and build more remarkable models. And they're going to use these models to break new ground in science and entertainment. I personally feel privileged that we've been able to be part of their story and wanted to send my thank you to the entire Freelateral team. Data Fabric is about giving you access to the right data in the right place for your users and applications. It's that ability to have common data services that span across all of the different deployment models. It allows you to be cloud integrated, cloud connected, or cloud native, with consistent protection, security, efficiencies, and mobility where it makes sense. It's also about insights, though, across your deployments, so you can continuously optimize your environment to reduce costs and make sure you're being compliant with local regulations. But let's take a moment to look back in order to look forward. For years now, we've been working to push more and more control to the application owners or the development teams. And with increasing levels of automation, we've been able to do that quite successfully. But all of that has led us here. And with the cloud, we're now moving from application-dictated infrastructures to application-driven infrastructures. And you may remember Anthony Lai talked about this in his section yesterday. It's no longer about us working out what the applications need and then designing and building an infrastructure to support those needs. An application-driven infrastructure enables an application to be created in the cloud and the appropriate resources assigned at the time of creation. It's more efficient, more cost-effective, and most importantly, it's incredibly dynamic. And with Spot on our cloud volumes, we can now assign the most appropriate and lowest cost compute and storage resources for the application and continuously optimize these to meet the needs of the application as those demands change. The reality is, most companies will have a combination of different deployments. And again, this is where a data fabric comes into its own. Application-driven infrastructures for me are just a logical and extremely powerful extension of a data fabric for those cloud-based workloads. And I'm really excited about the numerous ways that we'll continue to enhance our cloud capabilities to build even further on these. And I personally Can't wait to see how companies like 3Lateral will be able to expand their data fabric and take their innovations to entirely new heights. It's been an unusual year so far, with many lows, but there's also been some highs. A personal highlight for me has been the opportunities I get to meet, obviously virtually, the visionaries, the ones that think about what a future for them and for their companies could be. It's those conversations where I think, you're trying to do what? It's that inspires me. And it reminds me of a quote by the late, great Douglas Adams, and it's not the don't panic quote that many of you are thinking. He said, I never really knew where I wanted to go, but I think I ended up where I needed to be. The best quotes don't always tell you what you should do. They often just serve as a good reminder. And it reminds me, I'm an engineer. I always have been. And when I think about what the most important part of being an engineer is, it's that I'm always thinking about what the future could look like and what my role in it could be and how that could be a more exciting place. So what could a data fabric do for you and your company in the future? I'd really like all of you to really think about this if you haven't done already. So anyway, I hope that you'll join me later for our closing session on the data fabric, where I'm going to be joined again by our specialist from the Innovation Hour. We'll also have Jeff White, the CTO for DreamWorks, giving us an update on their data fabric, and maybe one other surprise guest as well.
Hello, I'm Kim Weller, Director of Solutions Engineering, reporting from Houston.
And I'm Phoebe Go, Principal Architect at NetApp in Michigan. Welcome back. In the Americas, we love being on the cutting edge of technology, and we know that you do too. Here's the latest news from NetApp.
Our sources in Boston have just confirmed a host of new industry-changing product launches to help you drive digital transformation and make your business move faster.
NetApp is making major announcements for both on-premises and the cloud to optimize how your organization uses data. Here are the headlines on ONTAP 9.8, Cloud Manager, Spot by NetApp, and NetApp Virtual Desktop Service. Let's get into it.
Phoebe, the networks are buzzing with a big scoop about Data ONTAP, the industry's favorite operating system, and mine too. NetApp is delivering great innovation in ONTAP 9.8 with improvements naturally to storage efficiencies, availability, and simplicity. On top of that, we help you beat the bad guys with enhanced security features, and we're pioneering new hybrid cloud capabilities unique in the industry.
Unique. That's why all the cloud CEOs and VPs are here with us at NetApp Insight.
Yeah, that was so interesting this morning. The ONTAP team says this is the best of the enterprise data center made cloud enabled. Best of all, it's easy to get these new enhancements with a regular upgrade to ONTAP software guided by Active IQ. That's ONTAP 9.8, the world's most innovative storage OS.
We're hearing worldwide that CTOs are discovering extra money in their cloud budgets.
The hero in our savings story is Spot by NetApp, which powers up your cloud spend by intelligently optimizing cloud infrastructure while maintaining service levels.
And breaking news from the keynote at NetApp Insight, announcing Spot Storage, bringing the guarantee of cost optimization to automatically match storage performance with application demands.
In other news, Spot by NetApp adds Spot Kubernetes optimization, providing visibility into your container infrastructure costs and health.
We're hearing the Spot by NetApp engineers are competing to release features that have never been seen before. Spot Kubernetes Optimization Service is the only end-to-end data lifecycle management service for Kubernetes from a single vendor.
That's right, Phoebe. This extends NetApp's vision of helping customers deploy workloads in the cloud while optimizing both storage and compute. That's Spot by NetApp. Let's turn to NetApp Virtual Desktop Service. Phoebe, this is a big deal for organizations who need to deploy their virtual desktop environments with speed, right?
Right. We have reporters on the scene in all of our supported cloud providers, and they tell us the SaaS-based control plane makes it a snap to deploy, manage, and optimize their virtual desktop environments over time. This flexible solution with open APIs works smashingly, whether you're all in with a cloud provider, deploying on premises, or somewhere in between.
But let's get our facts straight. NetApp VDS doesn't specialize in cataloging your Star Wars action figure collection, but it can automatically scale and right-size resources. Plus, it's a Jedi at simplifying the management of applications, sessions, and data. And of course, it's integrated with other NetApp cloud data services like shared storage, data protection, and compliance.
Right, it'll even run your desktops from Tatooine. This is Virtual Desktop Service from NetApp. Kim, we've spotted a new cloud celebrity on the scene. NetApp Cloud Manager has evolved into an automation, cost optimization, cloud portability superhero. Users already love using Cloud Manager's centralized control plane to deploy cloud storage and orchestrate replication between clouds and even on premises. Now, Cloud Manager has gained additional superpowers to manage, monitor, and automate data protection and portability across your hybrid environment.
Superpowers. I love it, Phoebe. Will Cloud Manager save the world?
Just about. Cloud Manager will help you save up to 90% of compute and storage costs in the cloud.
That's a wrap on breaking news for the Americas. For details, go to netapp.com.
We now return you to your regularly scheduled program. Kim, how about we go get a hot dog?
Ooh, that sounds great. Socially distanced, of course.
And now we're fortunate to have two very special guests today from an organization that is putting data to work for an amazing mission. Children's Cancer Institute is the only independent medical research institute in Australia wholly dedicated to ending childhood cancer once and for all. Elaine, Mark, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate your time today. Can you please give us a high-level overview of your mission at CCI?
Hi, Cesar. Thank you for asking us to join you today. Essentially, childhood cancer is the leading cause of disease-related death in the Western world, certainly true in Australia as it is in America. There are about 1,000 newly diagnosed children and young people with cancer in Australia, about 11,000 in America. So to try and tackle this challenge, the Children's Cancer Institute launched a program called the Zero Childhood Cancer Program. This is our national pediatric cancer precision medicine program, where currently all children with the highest risk cancers, those with the most aggressive tumours that we don't know how to treat, come enrolled onto this precision medicine program, where we aim to match that patient to the right drug.
Wow, excellent. Now, to go from the high level to the microscopic, I assume there is a genomic component to your research?
Yes, that's right, Cesar. So pediatric cancer is a form of genetic disease. And so what we've tried to do with this program is to take the most comprehensive genetic profiling technology available, which is whole genome sequencing, and try and analyze all the genetic differences that are present in each patient's tumor and sift through all of this information and try and work out which bits of it are medically relevant, which bits explain why the patient got their disease in the first place, and which bits of information can be used to potentially treat the patient better. So to do that, we run these cloud-based containerized analysis pipelines that we've developed in-house, or we run them on the cloud. It takes about 5,000 CPU hours to analyze each patient's genome, which is about a terabyte, and we do that in about 27 hours in real time. And from that large amount of information, as I've already said, we try and find a little bit of information that we think is most medically relevant to try and improve the outcomes for those children.
Wow, amazing. And not only is the volume of data you work with, but also the data itself is extremely sensitive, but it's very mature. What technological challenge did that present for your team before you began working with NetApp?
So prior to Mark's team coming in, most of our data was transactional, and we probably held around 80 terabytes of data. And then, in around 2018, the execs came to me and said, we're bringing in a computational biology team. At that point, I had no idea what that meant and had to Google furiously to find out. But it meant that we were going to get a lot of data that we had to move around, and we also had to be able to store and analyze. So really the only way for us was to move to the cloud and allow Mark's team to analyze their data in the cloud. What that meant was that I had to move to a commercial data center, and that's where NetApp came into play. They were the ideal partner for us in the data center. They allowed us to build and scale our needs as we grew and as funds were available, which is really important for us.
Well, thank you so much for trusting us, Ariel. And what was so important the system with modular? What were your motivating factors in choosing that model?
One of the main reasons is that, our research is funded by grants, and, that means that we don't always know when those funds are going to come in. So I needed to be able to have a system that I could build on as opportunities arose and as funding came in. We started with VDI back in 2016, I think it was. All our operational systems were cloud facing, but we couldn't open them up to the cloud because of the sensitive data that they held. So VDI allowed us to do that, as well as cut operational costs with thin clients as well. We started the pilot, and by 2020, when COVID hit, we were able to turn around our entire workforce working from home within a week, which is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it is. Great job. So how's the data fabric and multi-cloud support and enhance your research?
Yeah, I think we're still trying to work out the genetic basis of pediatric cancers, what makes them tick. And invariably that means we need to collaborate with partners all around the world who are trying to ask similar questions. So that invariably leads to more of a data science challenge of how do we integrate data generated in Sydney with data that might already exist in partners and perhaps in Philadelphia or in Memphis or parts of Europe. So really the data fabric component to the NetApp provides an opportunity for us to be able to start to seamlessly share our data across the world. And it also tackles the other challenge where you might want to collaborate on data, but invariably they might be using a different cloud than we do. And so to be able to take the same analytical pipelines and run them on those different clouds on the data that's stored in NetApp was a real game changer for us.
Oh, really fascinating. And it's such a powerful example of how data fabric extends your ability to access and leverage data for both inside and outside your organization. How do you see your technology evolving as you move forward? What are your plans for the future?
Well, we've recently just purchased another 3 petabytes of data storage and compute from NetApp, and that will invariably keep growing as Mark's work keeps growing. It's the flexibility that NetApp provides us that allows us to create new opportunities as they arise and as the funds come in as well.
Yeah, I think so. So what we've been able to demonstrate on the research front is that this precision medicine approach really works. In 70% of the children, we found something that we thought could be used to change the treatment of that patient. I think this is an absolute game changer in the field. And so for the next phase for us, we're expanding our program ultimately to every single newly diagnosed child in the country. Much more data coming, much more challenges, and I'm looking forward to seeing how NetApp can help us scale to meet those challenges.
Well, truly amazing work. And we couldn't be prouder that NetApp is playing such an important role in helping you achieve your life-saving mission. And now I'd like to extend an opportunity to our audience to be part of your incredible heroic work. To everyone watching at home, you'll find a banner on the homepage of the platform where you can make a donation to support Children's Cancer Institute. Mark, Elaine, we're so grateful you made the time to join us today and wish you the best of luck with your next phase of research. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Cesar, for having us.
Thank you.
Wow, what a fantastic day. We'll start off hearing from our industry most successful twin duo, George and Thomas Kurian. They told you how Google Cloud has experienced amazing growth over this past year with NetApp contributing as their chosen infrastructure partner. And we discussed the best ways to modernize your on-prem environment. You heard from our technology leaders about ONTAP, as well as the latest innovations coming from NetApp engineering. But if you walk away from today with just one thing top of mind, I hope is this. It's time to invest in building your data fabric. We've spent a lot of today talking about how NetApp helps customers connect their data to the people and applications that need it, no matter where the data is now or where it might need it to be in the future. Now, you got to ask yourself, in a world defined by constant and rapid change, how will you get the most from your cloud? How will you optimize for the future? We're excited to partner with you every step of the way. For now, please stick around for mega sessions showcasing the best of NetApp technology. Don't forget to explore the content library where you can see all our breakout sessions designed to help you become a specialist. And remember, we're going to end the day with some fun. Get ready to push it old school with Grammy-winning hip-hop legends Salt and Pepper. You don't want to miss it. Stay tuned, and I'll see you there.
Hey everyone, James is back with my three amigos, the leaders of our customer-facing organizations from around the world. Hey, Alex, Anuj, Rick, great to have you back. Just an incredible keynote that was. And let me turn it to you, Rick, first up. What was the key takeaway for you?
First of all, wow, what another great day. Just listening to our customers, listening to our partners, listening to how our technologies are being used to solve problems, and helping our customers in their journey to the cloud. We go around the world and we talk to a lot of customers, and we know that each one of these customers are, a lot of them are still on-prem, and they're succeeding with the technologies that we provide to them. Others are doing architecture work for the cloud. Others are already there. And knowing that NetApp and our partners have the ability to meet them wherever they are in that journey to the cloud is absolutely, just a great story to hear. The other thing that really stood out for me is just, NetApp recognizing that we're specialists. We're not going to try to be generous to everybody. We're going to specialize, and we're going to bring the best technologies in the areas that we really want to focus our engineering efforts on. And just knowing that, we have that mission and we have that focus, and we have the ability to deliver the best technologies in the data management and the storage, and wherever you are, if you're on-prem, if you're on that cloud journey, you're already in the cloud, and knowing that we're already there and we're there to help you, it was just a great story to hear. So, we're the best. That's that's the thing I'm taking away from the day.
True specialists, right? And as one of the most competitive people I know, Rick, I think you appreciate that specialists win out over generalists just about every time, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, Anuj, how about you? Key takeaway for you?
Hola, James. All I have is one word called #motherflippinggood. And I think, being the specialist in data fabric, like Rick said, I think it puts us in an enviable position. I would call it pole position if somebody's racing, to really help our customers in their journey wherever they are. I would just say the biggest thing takeaway for me, James, today was just to see we just got 4 out of 4 clouds. So the customer can choose where they want to go. But more importantly, we're touching every fabric of society, every fabric of our customer base. You heard from Children's Cancer Institute, what a touching story, right? You heard from Coca-Cola in terms of scale for SAP. You heard from Repsol. I mean, these are customers that are doing the most demanding things for their applications, that have the most demanding needs for data. And more importantly, the connectivity of this data across every fabric of every cloud. And I think we're in pole position to be front and center of their journey and help them along the way.
You're so right. I mean, those customer stories today were amazing. Just like yesterday, showing how they are putting the data fabric to work in their businesses. And Alex, how about you? Key takeaway from you?
Yeah, 2 key takeaways from my side, James. First one, we have a new president coming from Spain, and we suddenly start calling ourselves amigos. But on a more serious note, what the key takeaways for me is our passion for customers. Customers, James, are at the center of everything we do. Collaboration and figuring out how to solve their problems across on-prem and clouds, orchestrating new or traditional apps to ultimately grow the business of our customers. I believe we are the only company to span edge to core to cloud, making it easier to get value from their data, no matter what it is or what the data is, where it resides. It is completely independent. And talking about transforming data centers, only NetApp can provide a storage infrastructure to help you scale and grow. So no matter where customers are on their journey, NetApp is there. It's all about meeting customers where they are and helping them, and that's more important, helping them get where they need to go.
So true, and hopefully we showed that today. And, in all the content that we've made available across the platform, truly how we are helping take the best of data center technology into the cloud and the best of cloud into the data center. So, gang, thank you so much for joining me. Go out, enjoy the rest of the show. Tons more content for you out there. Have fun.
Thank you, James, Alex, Anuj, and Rick. What an impressive vision keynote to get us going today. And hello, everyone at work, at home, at work from home, at work from the beach. Wherever you are, we hope you will join the conversation with the hashtag NetApp Insight. I'm Lena Nguyen, and you're watching the NetApp Insight 2020 live stream. If you've missed any of the program so far, it will show up in the content library once today's live stream has concluded. The leaderboard is getting pretty crowded here at Insight. The virtual meeting planners like to call that engagement. But with this crowd, I'd say it's more like competitive bloodlust. So keep it up, everyone. One of our NetApp specialists filed a promo for what's coming up soon at Insight 2020. Take a look.
Hi, I'm Basha Kaki in Sydney, Australia. I probably can't bring this plant back to life, but I can tell you how to get more from your data. So join me at NetApp Insight 2020. Your data will be happy you did.
Our next mega session is just about to begin. And if you're like most people joining Insight, you have seen your fair share of tech launches that promise the world. There's a lot of hyperbole, lots of flash and gloss, lots of celebrities making cameo appearances that have you scratching your head wondering what on earth they have to do with the brand and the tech. And we just eat it up, don't we? Well, we're going to have some fun with that in the next mega session as we talk about getting your data fabric set up with some seriously cool capabilities. First, we'll check in with a longtime NetApp partner for our next customer chronicle. DreamWorks Animation has been a NetApp customer for more than 20 years and has used NetApp technology on every single CG animated feature film during that time. Let's check in with DreamWorks Technology Fellow and VP of Platform and Services Architecture, Scotty Miller, to hear how NetApp is working with DreamWorks to advance their data fabric.
One, two, three, four.
Over the last 20 years that I've been at DreamWorks, we've seen the data demands evolve. I think the next iteration is the data is going to be outside our walls. We're going to want to be able to use the cloud so that the data has mobility and it has lifetime and it has value well beyond the release of the film. One of my favorite parts about our NetApp partnership is that they saw the cloud not as a threat, but as a complement. So NetApp reorganized and instituted cloud-first activities around the software stack and the data fabric to make sure that everyone moving to the cloud will find NetApp when they get there. We also realized that the future of the cloud and more complicated data management meant that engineering innovation partnership with NetApp would let us get ahead of the curve and solve our problems before we knew we had them. To keep our data fabric viable and support content creation, we're working with NetApp to figure out our next step, and that's including the public cloud to make sure the right data is in front of the right artist at the right time, to make sure the data is safe with the highest of integrity, to make sure we have the automation and the analytics tools we need to make accurate decisions for just-in-time manufacturing of some of these films. Cool.
Hi everyone, I'm Basha Kaki, Data Solutions Engineer for NetApp and host of the video series All About Data. Welcome to the most amazing guest data storage ever. You heard earlier from Jeff Baxter and Kim Waller about all the exciting things coming with the new version of ONTAP, including improved storage efficiency and greater hybrid cloud connectivity. Intelligent data tiering that can give you 33% greater storage efficiency, automatic encryption for data in flight, and so much more. I'm excited to share with you another exciting announcement. Today, we're going to show you the most amazing cloud data storage platform in the history of all data storage. It will make your life easier. It will make you smarter. and you'll never feel lonely again. Its new capabilities represent the pinnacle of human achievement. It's so easy, even your grandparents can deploy distributed cache into the cloud. Hold on a sec. Ronan,
Hi, Barsha. Yes.
can we say all this? The most amazing cloud data storage platform in the history of all data storage. Did you check that with legal?
This is really a big deal. We've got some great announcements. We have been working with all the big cloud providers. We have been building up to this moment for a long time. It is sort of an Apple moment for us.
So legal's okay?
Sure. Legal is okay.
Ronan, if this is so big, why are we announcing it over Zoom? Shouldn't you have invited a bunch of people, maybe booked an auditorium or something, or at least wear a nicer shirt, Ronan?
Let me check with my team. They've been pretty busy. COVID complicates the situation, but we would like to announce it the right way.
Now, welcome to the most amazingest data storage ever, where you'll learn about the latest innovations in data storage, from ONTAP to Cloud Volumes to Cloud Manager. Ladies and gentlemen, live from Sunnyvale, California, Senior Vice President and General Manager, Cloud Volumes at NetApp, Ronan Swatch.
Hello everyone, I'm Ronan Schwartz. Today I'm going to share with you an exciting announcement. We now live in a hybrid multi-cloud world. Your application and data might be in your data center, they might be in the cloud, they could be at the edge. Or, like most companies, you're now managing a hybrid multi-cloud environment. Regardless of where your infrastructure is, you need to ensure application performance, data protection, data validation, and compliance. You need to support DevOps automation and be ready for containers. I am so excited to announce today that our Cloud Volumes platform is available across all major cloud providers. Over the last year, we have released fully managed native Cloud Volumes on Azure, on Google Cloud, and on AWS. Now, it is all available in a single platform. This is enterprise-grade data management in the cloud. It gives you the confidence to move enterprise applications to the cloud with security and protection. It makes the process simple. It is a game changer. NetApp is the Switzerland of clouds. We don't care where your data is. Pick a cloud, build a cloud, we don't care. Your approach to data should be the same. Your ability to work with data should be best of breed. Now, with a single platform that supports over 160 petabytes and more than doubling year over year, our services have been certified to work with the most demanding workloads, like SAP HANA on Google Cloud and on Azure. And the largest customers in the world are using it. With automation and cold data tiering, customers are reporting saving of up to 70%. We are investing in adding features across the clouds, expanding support with hybrid offering like Anthos and Outpost. We have simplified the management with broad capabilities like backup and Cloud Sync, a seamless experience available through a web UI or automated with APIs. Compliance, AI-driven automatic data privacy controls driven by local regulation like GDPR and CCPA. Virtual desktops, thousands of desktops in minutes across geographies. Global file cache, consolidate and centralize your data in the cloud, but allow teams to work with the data as if it was local. Compute optimization, as you have seen in the main keynote. With the Spot acquisition, we can automate the optimization of compute resources
on each cloud provider, giving you more cloud at less cost. Last but not least important, application and data lifecycle management for Kubernetes. We are delivering all of these capabilities, which you all love, from ONTAP across the cloud providers through consistent APIs and an unparalleled native cloud experience. We have made it easy to orchestrate disaster recovery, backup, and tiering between your data center and the public clouds. And now, here is Yaron Heimson to show you how it works.
Hello, Onen. Thanks for inviting me over. I'd like to take you through a guided tour of the Cloud Volumes platform. As you can see, in a single pane, you have a multitude of storage solutions and data services from NetApp across multiple clouds and on-premise. You can see our native cloud offering in Azure, the Azure NetApp Files. You can see Cloud Volume Service, which is available in AWS and GCP. Our Cloud Volume ONTAP, which is available across all clouds, and even native cloud storage next to your on-premise solutions. The Cloud Volume platform is more than just managing storage. It's about managing the data, combining the storage and services with app-aware policies that would allow you to match the application need. Let's consider a typical customer journey to the cloud. Let's start with your on-premise AFF. It's a highly expensive resource, and you'd like to tier data off it, essentially lift and not shift, have the data available just in a cheaper tier in the cloud. You can do it through cloud tiering, or potentially just use Cloud Backup Service to backup on-prem to the cloud and vacate the data off-premises. Another option would be to take data and do a real lift and shift. You can take the data and replicate it to a Cloud Volume ONTAP by dragging and dropping. This would kickstart a replication wizard that would allow you to do whatever you need to do in terms of setting up, peering the both of the clusters, setting up the policies, and making sure that those end meets. Once the data is lifted, just point the application at the data and just get to work. It's going to work the same way. You can see that we have a replication screen where you can govern the replication, you can break it, you can change direction. If it's at the R side, you can move the data back into it, and then you can troll it throughout various tweaks and options. That's going to be very easy for you. Now that the data is in the cloud, let's think about protecting it. So one thing to do, it's going to be very easy for you to trigger ransomware protection and block various ransomware options through F-policy. Make sure that the data is protected by backing it up with Cloud Backup Service. Cloud Backup Service would allow you to match policies for backup per volume and create backups into object storage. A snapshot would be there, and you can tweak them and set the mechanisms and set everything in place so you can match the right granularity that you'd like to get throughout the service, and even get to the level that where you can do a single file or a single folder restore. But that's not all. Let's think about Kubernetes, right? So the next stage would be to use Kubernetes and use volumes created on Cloud Volume ONTAP as persistent storage for Kubernetes, and that's definitely something that you can do here with our updated Trident plugin, the generic Kubernetes implementation supporting EKS and JKE. That's definitely something that you can do here. Let's consider a different angle to the cloud. Let's go to the ANF, the Azure NetApp Files. I'm just going in and let's create a first volume or another volume inside the ANF solution. So see how easy it's going to be to do it from here, right? So you don't have to go to any native solution. Just click on create a volume. Let's select the applicable subscription and the capacity pool, which is relevant here. I'll just give it a quick name, and let's think about the capacity. Remember, this is highly performant. The more capacity that you have, the more performant it's going to be. So let's go with 2 terabytes. Let me just fix the mount point here and the accessibility point. And let's put generic 00 here, and we're good. So see how fast that happened. And now we just carved 2 new terabytes in the cloud. What we can do with those 2 terabytes? Quite a lot. First, obviously, we can populate it. and we'll talk about population in a second, but let's start with compliance scanning. Compliance is fairly new to us, and we recently enhanced it quite a lot. It allows you to find various GDPR and CCPA infringements, and it allows you to scan data across CVO, including data protection file, ANF, and even S3 buckets. You can go and see you have various reports on your right-hand side, so you can just select one of them and take it down and peruse it later at your convenience, and that's a result, obviously, of the scan. But you can also do even deeper stuff and go and look at unstructured data, your various file structures which are available and you're scanning, or even potentially go and scan various databases, more structured data, and find nuggets of infringements which wherever they lie. Obviously, in order to populate the ANF volume, you can definitely use CloudSync, which is free in combination with ANF. So when you push data to ANF, CloudSync is free for you, and you can just use it. We're actually moving the CloudSync, which was standalone, into this and making every ends meet. We have more. We have the monitoring service. That's essentially Cloud Insights with several pre-bundled packages and dashboard, and you can obviously upgrade to the premium package. But you can see multiple other services. For example, you see Global File Cache. This is a very intriguing solution that we have, usually for remote branch caching over SMB, which allows you to create some kind of a global file solution. And that's not the end of it. We're actually and actively adding more and more. We're talking about a virtual desktop from VDS, and we have a Spot by NetApp going to be integrated into Cloud Manager very soon. So all that intriguing stuff is going to be available shortly. But that's not worth it without some security. And we have a really good multi-tenancy and tenancy awareness model that you can employ here. That tenancy model can allow you to segregate various business use cases and say, I would like that BU to be responsible for that CVO and that other operation to be responsible for that CVS. So that's something you can segregate within your needs. So you can just see me here. I'm just switching the account and I'm going to another account. And I'm going to show you, and it's going to be very interesting in a second, that we have some level of deeper control using what we call a local UI and not just the SASE UI that you've just seen. And that's local UI is fully available and allows us to use APIs. And why is that intriguing? That is awesome because we have a unified API and UI across all services, not only Cloud Manager as before. You can see in a second that as opposed to the past, what I can do here is I can take and create an ANF volume through the API. Going to do it very easily and potentially see this here. And then I can potentially go to Cloud Compliance and say, I would like to enable a scan on that volume through API. Every action that you can see on the screen can be done with APIs. Unified APIs across all the platforms and across all the needs. To conclude the demo I just showed you, we are bringing together all the great storage and data services offerings from NetApp into a single platform with unified API and UI. Wrapping in application-aware policies, we will allow you to get much more of your data with the Cloud Volumes platform deployment, monitoring, and automation capabilities. Barsha and Ronen, the announcement of the Cloud Volumes platform today is very exciting for us.
Thanks, Yaron. We're so excited about the Cloud Volumes platform. Can't wait to see what our customers can do with it. If you want to learn more, check out these great on-demand video breakout sessions. Learn more, Cloud Volumes, Cloud Manager. Wait, it seems like Ronan has more to tell us. Back to you, Ronan.
There is one more thing. It's you, the storage engineer, the data geek, the on-top champion, the cloud specialist. You are the most important feature of the platform. You have never been as critical to your organization as you are today. Our platform is designed to support you, empower you, make you look good and your life easier. With the proliferation of data across clouds, you are empowering digital transformation. I encourage you to empower yourself, embrace cloud and DevOps,
take a seat at the leadership table. We have got your back. Start today with the Cloud Volumes platform.
As I was saying, I hope you've enjoyed learning more about the Cloud Volumes platform. We're only getting started. Watch for new capabilities and features coming throughout the year. If you want to learn more, check out these great on-demand breakout sessions and visit cloud.netapp.com/Insight 2020 for a collection of special offers and trials, including free trials of Cloud Manager and Cloud Volumes on tap.
We can't make your kids get along. We can make your on-prem and cloud storage play nice.
We're back. Thank you, Ronen, Yaron, and Barsha for that most amazingest product discussion, probably the greatest the world has ever seen. We can't all see your Allbirds or what brand of jeans you're all wearing, but no doubt they are super cool and most amazingest. Our next mega session tackles the subject that's on everybody's mind. Because these days, wherever you go, there you work. In fact, 2020 is the year from the work from home revolution. And NetApp has the tools to make your infrastructure flexible enough to support an elastic workforce. Leading into our next mega session is a customer chronicle featuring the premier hosting solution provider for online accounting solutions. With a mixed environment of on-prem and cloud, they needed to ease into a strategic migration while also protecting their on-prem VDI investments. Sound familiar? Let's take a look at how the specialists at NetApp are helping Swissnet unlock the best of cloud.
My name is Bob Hollander. I'm President and CEO of Swissnet. We have thousands of clients with thousands of users every year. We leverage a special niche in the financial services sector, serving CPAs, accounting firms, and their clients. We enable our accounting partners to collaborate online in the cloud with their end users. Our fastest growing segment leverages NetApp VDS, whereby we deliver remote desktops and applications as a service to our accounting clients. Swissnet delivers this service with NetApp's help across 7 different data centers in North America. We have customers adding, deleting resources, services, applications on a daily basis. So consequently, we need a solution that enables us to serve our customer base and serve it efficiently. We'd estimate 50% or greater savings as we move to the NetApp VDS solution. NetApp VDS gives us the power to quickly deploy remote desktop solutions to our clients. The cloud-based attributes, the console, the capabilities, the tools, all empower us to be a competitive service provider in the market today. At Swissnet, our mission has been to unlock the power of the cloud for our clients through simple-to-use, scalable platforms. And we've been able to do just that with NetApp VDS.
Hello, I'm Julie Lewaski, Global Partner Go-to-Market Enablement Advocate for NetApp. I'm the only one here in the office, so they said I could take my mask off. So welcome to the mega session, Unmute Your VDI, how to let everyone work everywhere. Life is just a little crazy. We're all working from different places, from TV trays to spare bedrooms to RVs. And in some of our situations, we're even working from a baseball field or customer parking lot, or the desert, or in my case, from my chiropractor's office. And your virtual desktop infrastructure also needs to evolve and change in these times, just like us here at NetApp. So for the next 20 minutes from their virtual offices, our VDI specialists will introduce you to the new NetApp virtual desktop infrastructure. We'll talk to you about some of the most pressing questions around VDI, like how do I get thousands of users up and running right now? How can I support workers as they come back into the office? What's the right mix of on-premises versus cloud? And what if I have to support data-intense applications like CAD or medical imaging? And what are the easiest ways to cut costs and everything that I've just talked about? Oh, it's time for me to run into the room.
Julie, I can bring you back.
Okay, thank you so much. Get my mask on before I go into the room. So let us take it over to Mike. He's working in several different locations like all of us are doing. Let's catch up with him. I believe he's in his home office up in Boston, probably in a baseball field today. Over to you, Mike.
Thanks, Julie. Like most of us, I'm working from home today. And from home might mean my home office, it might mean the kitchen table. And then while we try and balance life and work, it might be the soccer field, the basketball court, or perhaps a baseball field. From a technology perspective, we need to support employees in all these locations, give them access to their applications, the data they're familiar with working with, and basically support their work wherever they are. To do that, we have to use technology that is scalable and can be used by people in a variety of locations. The public clouds give us access to that: Azure, AWS, and Google Compute Platform. Our virtual desktop service gives us the ability to deploy virtual desktops into any one of these public clouds. Let's take a quick look at a demo on how we actually deploy virtual desktop service into Azure using Windows Virtual Desktop. As an administrator, we have a choice to make about where we deploy and what we want to deploy in terms of virtual desktop servers, applications, and how many of those we want. Virtual desktop service gives us the ability to use a simple workflow and set of selections to build this out. So as you can see, we're making a couple of choices about location and the workspace we want to deploy to. Then we name the host pool so that we know where and who's using it. And then we provide some information about the type of host pool we're going to use. We start with a choice for, do we want shared or pooled users versus a personal setup? Shared means we put many users on the same virtual machine, whereas a personal setup means I get my own machine. We then make some choices about the type of image we want to use, which applications it contains, as well as the type and size of the machine. These choices are all pulled from the Azure API directly so that we have the appropriate information to make the sizing choices. We can also pick out for the boot disk what size we want, standard SSD or regular disk. Once we've made all those choices, the final choice is how many of these do we want to build. Virtual Desktop Service will build all of these machines in parallel once we've made that set of choices. Once we've kicked off the deployment method, we'll actually switch over here to see that both the host pool is being created automatically by Virtual Desktop Service, as well as all the machines in that pool. Now keep in mind, we can do this in Google and AWS as well, using the chosen cloud for each customer. You can see we actually created the host pool, and then here in a second, we'll go to our task list to see that Virtual Desktop Service is doing the work. This usually only takes 15 minutes to build, and we can do other things as an administrator as it goes through and does the automated tasks. At the end, these machines will be ready for use, and the users can log in and get access to their applications. But as most of us administrators know, deployment's only half the story. We need to be able to support users and help them troubleshoot sessions, network, application access, and maybe even sometimes a noisy neighbor who might be running too many tabs in Google. For the end user, the experience is really dependent on being able to access the data and applications that they're used to. From an administrative perspective, we want to make sure that we can help them even though we're remote. So things like shadowing sessions and looking at applications that are running in a session and evaluating any problems we might have with the environment are all tasks that Virtual Desktop Service can help administrators with. Beyond the troubleshooting, we also want to keep track of the overall health of the environment. Are the servers ready to accept session requests? Are the servers over-provisioned or under-provisioned? We can use the Cloud Insights tool to take a snapshot of the data of the applications, servers, and sessions within the cloud environment. The Cloud Insights information comes back into Virtual Desktop Service, and with the context of knowing which user and which application is tied to, we can provide a complete picture to the administrators so they can support the environment. This also applies to the cost side. Using live scaling and workload scheduling from Virtual Desktop Service, we can use the actual session request to turn servers on and off so that we're only paying for the servers and for the storage that we need to support end users. In the end, Virtual Desktop Service is a comprehensive application and virtual desktop management platform for administrators to support their end users, regardless of the public cloud the virtual desktops are deployed to. That's a pretty quick look, so let's head back to Julie and see how she's doing in the doctor's office.
Thanks, Mike. It's good. As Mike just demonstrated, with NetApp validated customer-driven solutions, I'm still able to access my virtual desktop and company's data so I can carry on with my day-to-day work, even if I'm in the exam room at my chiropractor's office. So let's turn it over to Dre now. He's been tasked with validating NetApp solutions during this pandemic, ensuring that all of our customers are up and running without any glitches very successfully. Oh, hi, Dr. Michelle. Perfect timing. It's time for my exam. Okay, over to you, Dre.
Thanks, Julie. You guys know how it is, right? We're all trying to work from home with all the noise and distractions that comes along with that. You got the leaf blowers, dogs barking, cats crawling all over you, kids crawling all over you. You know what I'm talking about, right?
You have to go party!
Oh, wow. Well, sometimes you just need to get away and focus on your work. In fact, the other day, I just had to go to one of my favorite spots. So recently I heard that one of our valued customers, Willis Towers Watson, just purchased one of our validated hybrid cloud solutions. You see, at NetApp, we deliver solutions that address business outcomes, not let those other guys only deliver products to address the moment, right? With NetApp Vast Portfolio, you can run virtual desktops and user applications side by side with inline encryption, encryption at rest, and all with guaranteed performance. We were able to get Willis Towers Watson stood up quickly, guys. It's one of the fastest deployments I've ever seen in hours. And the solution is performing so great that I heard that there are some people actually working from the parking garage using the building's Wi-Fi or just using the hotspot on their cell phone. So in other words, guys, they found the cheat code to get away from their home and still be productive. So yeah, I just had to see it for myself. I'm actually here today, right? So I'm here validating, guys. Remember, okay? Validating. I think there go one of their employees just pulled in right next to me. Let me get their opinion on how the system is running here. Hey, Maria. How's that NetApp solution treating you?
Just like I told you yesterday, the day before that, and last week, it's perfect. Dude, do you even go home anymore?
Yeah. So, dedication to provide our customers with the best validated solutions to get them from on-premise to the cloud and back to on-premise if need be is our focus as specialists here at NetApp. Back to you, Julie.
Thanks, Dre. Glad our customers are happy. Don't mind me being off camera as I'm now getting my adjustment. Okay, while I finish up here, let's hear from Fabian Duarte, working remotely in Gilbert, Arizona, somewhere in the Sonoran Desert. Over to you, Fabian.
Thanks, Julie. When this is all over, we expect to see a highly dynamic environment. Some offices may never open again, and workers may come back in phases. At NetApp, we understand the new dynamic, and we give our customers solutions that allow them the flexibility to quickly adapt. Virtual desktop services, for example, gives our customers the ability to manage their VDI, whether it's on-premise, remote desktops on Google Cloud, Amazon Workspaces, or perhaps WVDs on Microsoft Azure. When you complement virtual desktop services with our storage solutions like ONTAP arrays on-premise, or whether it's Cloud Volumes, it provides our customers with yet another tool to quickly deploy VDI. Our cloud-native storage solutions like Cloud Volume Service for Google Cloud Platform and Azure NetApp Files lets administrators manage cloud storage simply by being familiar with their cloud consoles. Global File Cache expands on our storage portfolio. With Global File Cache, you can build a solution for roaming VDI users or globally dispersed teams, all centrally collaborating from a common file share. Whether that's CVS, ANF, or ONTAP on-premise, this provides you with the flexibility to deploy virtual desktops at the edge, on-premise, or in any cloud, and having a single cloud console to manage it all. In the end, Our customers get from NetApp a consistent deployment model that leverages the flexibility of continuous optimization on-premise or in the cloud. You can fine-tune your deployments for VDI to help you reduce costs and be more efficient. With Virtual Desktop Service, it allows you to auto-scale VDIs for demand if your desktop increases or right-sizing your desktops to fit your end-user needs. You can schedule usage windows in order to have resources online during your defined business hours and shut them down outside of business hours. What if a user forgets to log out of their desktop? Well, you have the ability to automatically shut down the VDI. These are some of the many features and capabilities built into our tool, Virtual Desktop Service. How do you protect your data in the cloud? NetApp's Cloud Backup Service seamlessly and cost-effectively allows you to back up and restore all of this data. Cloud Backup Service provides you with the ability to protect and archive your data with strong encryption, both in flight and at rest. It provides you with protection and long-term archiving for your cloud data, allowing you to quickly meet your governance and compliance needs. Now, what about this next generation of application-driven workloads? Well, we've got you covered there as well. Project Astra is a Kubernetes application data lifecycle management service. With Project Astra, you can simplify the operations for stateful applications. You can deploy and maintain data-rich applications in pods and easily automate the backup and restore of your data or migrate your application pods from one Kubernetes cluster to another Kubernetes cluster, or in any cloud environment of your liking. That's very powerful. How about reining in those cloud costs? Are you worried about that? Well, Spot by NetApp lets you see, understand, and take action to reduce cloud costs and improve cloud efficiency. Spot gives you the power to automate your cloud infrastructure for auto-scaling applications, deliver availability and scalability for your scale-out applications at up to a 90% lower cost. In the end, customers get from NetApp a consistent deployment model that leverages the flexibility of continuous optimization, whether that's on-premise or in the cloud. NetApp solutions allow you to grow and scale from anywhere. So if you're sitting like me in the middle of the Arizona Sonora Desert, or maybe sitting right behind your home, as you can see. Let's check back with Julie. I'm sure that she's deployed a VDI or two from her chiropractor's office. Julie, back to you.
Thanks, Fabian. And watch out for the rattlesnakes. I feel so much better. Now I can carry on the rest of my day working from my home office. Oh, and a few words of advice from Dr. Michelle. Just make sure you take a break in between all of those Zoom sessions that you're in all day, like we all are. Stretch at least every hour on the hour. And from all of us in our virtual offices, you've learned from us about the new NetApp Virtual Desktop Services and how it can quickly deploy on your choice of cloud, how you can get more power from your virtual desktop infrastructure, and most importantly, how to manage it efficiently. Listed here are related sessions for additional knowledge of our services and solutions. Take a look. There's probably a few sessions that might be of interest to you. And then visit our cloud.netapp.com Insight 2020 for a collection of special cloud offerings and trials, including a free live VDS sandbox account. I believe you could use it up to 30 days. It can provision and deploy up to 50 virtual desktops. So check it out. And then reach out to your NetApp representative with any questions that you might have. And then thank you for your time. Wherever you are working, take care and be safe. And don't forget to stretch. All right, I gotta go. Gotta put my mask on though before I leave the office. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
Julie, Mike, Dre, and Fabian, thank you for braving those rather extreme work from anywhere environments to deliver that session. After working from her chiropractor's office, I think Julie just gave new meaning to the term crunch time. Great stuff. Just a reminder, if you've missed any of yesterday's program, you can find it in the content library. And today's programming will move there as well at the conclusion of our live stream. In our next mega session, we give some love to your data center. After all, it may still be your powerhouse, your rock in times of turmoil, but chances are you need some upgrades. Looking to replicate the economics of cloud on-prem? NetApp's got you covered. And if you'd like some proof, Cambridge University built a modern private cloud infrastructure that could centralize IT and satisfy the demands of the various users, managing both on-prem and public cloud IT resources. NetApp helped them do it. Take a look.
My name is Stephen Hoynt. I'm Head of Frontline Services at the University of Cambridge. The University of Cambridge is a collegiate university that was founded back in 1209 AD. Cambridge is the second oldest university in the English-speaking world. About 5 years ago, we formed a central IT department called the University Information Services. It was to provide central IT services to the collegiate university. We provide commodity services like network, wireless, storage, data centers, and collaboration tools. We chose NetApp HCI to provide simplicity in bringing our multiple storage systems together and creating a private cloud experience while providing a platform that would allow us to take our first steps into the cloud with ease. We're searching for ways to automate processes, improve scalability, and eventually move some of our workloads to the cloud. To meet these goals, it requires investments in platforms that would act as an on-premise private cloud solution that would enhance our user experience and allow an easy way to scale to the public cloud spaces. The ease at which we can grow our storage environment means we can continuously deliver reliable services to our end users.
Hello, Roger. Good to see you. How are you? How's your family?
We're doing great. How are you? We just finished building Mustang with my son and I. A little bit smaller than the original, but it was still fun nonetheless. Now my oldest son wants to have a Bronco. I don't think they do a Lego version, so it's probably going to be the real one that he's after.
Oh, I don't blame him. I love the Bronco. Which one does he want?
It's probably the most expensive one. I'm not sure yet, but he has mentioned, well, yeah, everything is expensive, right? But yeah, he's got his eyes, I think, on the two-door Badlands. So we'll have to see when he starts building it in the configurator what he's going to be getting.
Uh-huh. Well, I just got back from vacation. I had my first kiteboarding lesson. It was awesome.
Oh, wow.
Let me share my screen here, and you can see this isn't really me, but I was trying to be this guy.
Living your inner youth. Awesome.
Absolutely. I'm in complete denial of my age. So thanks for joining, Roger. Is your title still the storage owner?
Yes, it is.
I've got a new title, Senior Manager at the Global's Digital Transformation Office. So thanks again for joining. The agenda for this call is to review your original goals and talk about.
Evan, it's Mary Jo LeBlanc.
Hi, thanks for joining.
Well, thank you for the invitation, Roger. I'm Mary Jo LeBlanc. I'm from the NetApp on NetApp program under Bill Miller, our CIO here at NetApp, and my role is really to be the voice of IT for our customer one team, who are the early adopters of our technology that run inside of NetApp. So Evan was telling me about this call, and I'm like, yeah, can I tag along? And so I hope you don't mind, but I just wanted to have a chance to hear what you have going on at Ford.
Oh, sure, no problem. Always wanted to share.
Great. All right, thanks.
So thanks for joining, Mary Jo. Roger, perhaps you could rewind a few years and when we first started this journey together and share your original transformation goals with Mary Jo.
Sure, let me grab the screen and I'll draw it out for you.
So we defined our North Star in terms of what we want to achieve. That's fixed, but the journey does vary along the way. And what we wanted to do is become our own storage service provider, transitioning to a service provider approach to provide value to our business. That was just so much a cultural change as a technology change, and really a free your mind experience of how we've done things in the past. We wanted to introduce agility, but have lower costs in terms of investment. And through that agility, get to business outcomes quicker and get to services quicker that our business can consume. A good example and a recent example is the Bronco launch. We touched on my somewhat a Bronco, but when we launched the packages, there was a package called the Sasquatch package that customers were a little bit disappointed initially that we only offered an automatic transmission. There was a lot of feedback on forums and various media outlets, and we took that feedback, looked at the viability of offering a manual transmission, and great news for our customers, we're going to be launching that. So that's now available and our customers can choose it. So that just shows you how using data and feedback gives more value to the customer and gives customers what they want.
Yeah, I get that. I really get that, Roger. Your North Star goals seem really similar to our own goals, accelerating business outcomes, yet keeping those costs low. It's an unrelenting challenge. I mean, we see it day in and day out, so I'm sure you understand. So tell me a little bit more.
Sure. So we used the blueprint that Evan had used over prior insights. And we see this as a continuous journey. Transformation often infers that there's a beginning and an end, and it really isn't that case. So we started off reviewing what we were doing, looking at where we internally gained value from the technologies we're using and seeing, could we do things differently? That really allowed us to simplify and consolidate and provide a service catalog that was more meaningful to our customers, very much aligned with how external cloud providers label their services, very clean and simple to understand. Progressing further into this journey, we developed APIs to be able to provide automation and self-service capability, and that was enablement for DevOps and eventually DevSecOps. But we don't stop there. We continuously innovate and go through this blueprint and oscillate through different stages.
Again, a lot of similarities, there between our IT journeys. I know from our experience here at NetApp, and it's not a linear path, but it is a continuous improvement journey, and we're continuously looking at improving our standards or revisiting consolidations, checking out our, improve automation is. You can always improve on automation, and all the way through your service catalog up to your DevOps. So it sounds very familiar.
Yep.
So when we started our transformation journey with you, Roger, we believed we could help Ford cut your on-premises storage and compute costs by about 50% in 3 years.
Whoa, that's pretty ambitious, Evan.
Yeah, let me share my screen here and let's break it down a little bit. So in our first workshop with Roger about 3 years ago, we set the goal together of helping to provide high performance, high availability storage for under 3 cents a gig with all flash FAS, our AFF product. And we wanted to help build private cloud automation to reduce their business wait time from days to seconds to give that agility that Roger was speaking of. And to further reduce cost, we believe that object storage could be the backup and archive solution that could deliver sub-penny per gig by providing integrated lifecycle management and cold data tiering from all-flash FAS to storage grid.
Wow, it sounds like you have a lot of rabbits in your hat there, Evan.
Absolutely. We keep trying to innovate. So when we met last year with Roger, we began to believe that we could just have additional goals like reducing compute and software licensing costs, again, maybe by half, while applying the same cloud automation model that he's doing for storage to compute services. And as Ford's IT strategy also included public cloud, moving applications and use cases to public cloud, we believed we could help Ford reduce his costs even more in the public cloud. as well. So using the same technology on-prem, ONTAP, we started talking about Cloud Volumes ONTAP, where we could reduce their public cloud storage costs, again, maybe over 50%, while also improving availability and performance, enabling that hybrid cloud data fabric to give Roger the ability to have data where he needed it and when he needed it, while providing sub-millisecond storage with enterprise-grade availability and security with CVS.
Yes, well, we use Cloud Volume Services for AWS here inside of IT for our Cloud One platform. So Roger, Cloud One is our hybrid cloud platform, and it supports everything from DevOps to infrastructure as a service to containers as a service. And we use both Cloud Volume Services and Cloud Volumes ONTAP because they perform so well together, and they seamlessly integrate into the hybrid cloud.
So Roger, could you share more details about how you transformed into a service provider? Where did you really begin that journey?
Sure, let me show my screen. Yep, I can show my screen and draw it out for you.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Thanks.
Yeah, so we view cloud as an experience and not a location. And with that, we wanted to be able to give our customers simplicity across wherever they receive services, be it on-prem or in external clouds. So to that end, we actually rebranded ourselves and looked at defining our services as file, block, and object, a real pivot away from the past to referring to SAN and NAS as services. That gave us a consistent catalog when we started looking at extending into a multi-cloud journey and really simplifying from a customer perspective. For the longest time, we've been teaching our customers, and there was an unraveling that needed to be done. They always had to learn what the media was, the types of brands we were using behind the scenes, to be able to articulate what they wanted in terms of an architecture, design, and services. We pivoted away from that and really moved away from what we internally call knowing how the watch works to just simply being able to tell the time. That's the outcome that they really need.
Yeah, I get that. We to make that customer experience more cloud-like is exactly where we've gone as well. We offer file, object, and block at different service levels from value, performance, to extreme. So what we find is it kind of avoids that analysis paralysis in the selection process. But I do have a question. You know, you mentioned culture and getting that change. So one of the things we always talk about are the humans. So how did you get the organizations to change?
Yeah, that was a challenge. I mean, change in general is hard. If it was easy, then everyone would be doing this digital transformation. Everyone would be completed in a word. So there was a lot of cultural work around how we wanted to form our team, how we wanted to operate. And to be honest, when we first engaged Evan, we were nothing but storage geeks. We had SMEs that knew nothing but storage. And today, if I look at my team, we have a combination of developers and storage SMEs that sit side by side or used to prior to COVID. Now that's virtual, where they collaborate, and we have the storage SME helping the developer to be able to create APIs in an engaging format to support self-service. We also decided to use MVP, a minimal viable product approach, to get quick releases and that feedback, which was really valuable to us.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, MVP. Yep.
So Roger, could you fast forward then to the present? Where are you in terms of the results of your transformation? What business outcomes have you actually achieved?
Yeah, I can share those with you. So when we started this journey, we were very manually intensive, and now we've got 14,000 requests through the system, saving 20,000 tickets of work that we had to do, and that yielded about a $1.2 million savings in SLA hours. We've reduced our portfolio and footprint to a 4x carbon and physical footprint. Our technologies are around 40% reduced, and then our procurement time to being able to order to get it on the dock and into service is a reduction of about 60%. So great savings overall.
Wow. Yeah, great savings. So what would have happened if you hadn't done this?
I would hate to think. I mean, we'd probably be building data centers just for the data. So that we were very slow as well, and we didn't have the agility, if we were perfectly honest. And our outcomes really weren't helping our business move where they needed to move. And that was sort of where Shadow IT came, and the sudden enticement to go to external cloud providers for services.
So tell Mary Jo more about how you're using Fabric Pool to Storage Grid to reduce cost.
Sure. So when we started this journey, Fabric Pool wasn't a capability, and we went with Flash as an all density play, not necessarily performance. But we realized that there was opportunities through code upgrades to get feature functionality such as storage grid integration with Fabric Pool. And we use Fabric Pool for cold data and snapshots, and even our offsite copies, all tiered to that lower tier of cost in terms of storage, while maintaining the premium capability in terms of the Flash for our workloads where it's needed. So that combination really helped us keep not only the costs in check, but also helped us keep our carbon footprint and physical footprint in check as well. So awesome combination.
Mm-hmm. And it's my understanding that a major part of this transformation was moving away from, as you were talking about, the brands and the vendors and the technologies, the physical silos, with a collection of SAN arrays, NAS arrays, and that was creating quite a problem. Is that correct?
Sure was. I mean, we had dedicated infrastructure and dedicated teams to support that infrastructure. So we had a NAS environment that had dedicated engineering and operations team, a SAN environment, conversely, and a backup environment, and also object storage. And so those silos really didn't promote agility. They were inefficient in terms of how we did capacity consumption. And they worked well, but it doesn't really align with where we need to take the business moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get it. We've actively, I should say, avoided creating silos in our storage infrastructure as well. So, how did you move away from these silos?
So we came to the epiphany that SAN and NAS were just protocols, and storage is storage. So we adopted a unified storage approach where file and block services came from the same physical infrastructure. That helped us pivot in terms of our journey. We ourselves were building new data centers and transforming applications. And to be honest, I think we were probably a little bit overzealous in some of the virtualization that we tried, and that allowed us to pivot to physical hardware with the same storage. We consolidated the teams and leveraged QoS capabilities to be able to give different tiering of service levels. So ultimately, really got a good return and consolidation that you saw in the numbers I shared.
Well, you've really got a great leadership story here. Could you have received all of these outcomes and benefits without NetApp, All Flash FAS, and Storage Grid?
No, that was something that when we looked at the portfolio, there wasn't really one vendor that did everything, including NetApp. Fabric Pools was just a roadmap. But first adopting that unified storage approach and then seeing what was on the roadmap helped us plan. Instead of throwing hardware at the problem and creating those silos, we got feature functionality through code upgrades, such as Fabric Pool, the fan-out snapshot capability, snap mirror capability. So I don't think there was another vendor that could have helped us at that time the way NetApp did.
Yeah, with software-defined storage and engineered systems, we just keep getting better and better. I think you saw that the new ONTAP 9.8 was just announced, and that just means that you're going to get better and better storage efficiency and feature functionality.
Yeah, we're excited to adopt that.
So Roger, I think we could provide similar outcomes for your compute service, reducing cost, improving agility and automation. Let me share my screen here and talk about HCI, hybrid cloud infrastructure. It has disaggregated architecture that allows scaling storage and compute separately, which enables huge reductions in licensing costs for software and cost per VM. What do you think about meeting about that subject?
Yeah, let's talk about more on that subject.
Well, yeah, I think, Roger, as you move to the public clouds, the use of cloud volumes on tap to improve your agility and optimize cost will really help, as you mentioned, in your North Star goals.
Yeah, we see cloud as a location. Sorry, we see cloud as a service, not a location. And so having that capability is definitely going to allow us to reach out and get that multi-cloud journey.
Yeah, well, we use Cloud Manager to manage our CDO instances, and we're going to be looking at the new cloud backup service that was just announced, because as we know, performance is always a concern in the cloud, and the use of cloud volume services for workloads that demand high performance works out.
Yeah, high performance is starting to be a growing use case that we're interested in.
Fantastic. So, Roger, I'd like to meet later and talk more about your hybrid cloud needs. And since you're attending Insight, we've got several breakout sessions you might consider on your screen here. NetApp Transformation Architects are going to be providing several sessions about IT and digital transformation that help people design their future state.
Yep, so we have a couple of our IT leaders who will be presenting several sessions on IT and digital transformation as well, including our own CIO, Bill Miller, and his team.
And Roger, of course, you're on a panel discussion with some partners in the automotive vertical Birds of a Session. Look forward to seeing you there.
Yeah, I guess I might be eligible for a set of steak knives if I had another session.
Yeah, I'd like to see you juggle some knives. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I think steak knives are well warranted there, Roger. Well, it was great to meet you, and thank you for letting me tag along today. Thank you.
Likewise.
So if I could summarize the outcomes, AFF and StorageGrid are helping reduce cost, enabling private cloud on-prem. Let's look at HCI to talk about reducing your compute and licensing cost, enabling the further journey of private cloud with compute as well. Cloud Volumes ONTAP and Cloud Volume Services could help you reduce storage costs in the cloud, while also adding the enterprise capabilities for hybrid multi-cloud data fabric. So I'm looking forward to attending Insight sessions with you, Roger, about IT and digital transformation.
Yeah, well, thanks again, guys, for letting me join you.
Oh, no worries.
All right, well, see you again soon. When your son gets his new Bronco, let me know. I'd like to check it out.
Yeah, I bet he would do too as well. I think I might prefer the kiteboarding as an option.
Okay, I'll call you.
All right, guys, have a great
Right,
day.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, you
Have a
too.
good day.
Thank you.
We can't guide you to enlightenment. We can guide your data to new levels on the cloud.
Hi, and welcome to the closing session on Data Fabric. This is the last main session for our Insight event this year, so thanks for joining us, and I do hope that you get to enjoy meeting our guests that we've got coming to you today. We're going to meet a lot of people in the next 20 minutes with a lot of different perspectives about the future of Data Fabric, so kind of think of this as speed dating. We're going to get to meet somebody, and then we're going to move on and we're going to get to hear the next opinion. But first, I'd like to share some of my thoughts on how we've got to where we are today. I kind of see that we've been moving through three waves as IT has evolved. In the first wave, the world was much more infrastructure focused. Data was what users and applications created, and we designed the infrastructure that was needed to deliver the capabilities around capacity, speed, and efficiency. NetApp's role was to protect, secure, and accelerate the access to that data. But then came the second wave, and the definition of data changed. As virtualization underwent massive adoption, then suddenly the application, the operating system, and the virtual machine were now all defined by data. And what's more is that you had to have a shared storage platform for these virtual environments to work. NetApp's role in our data capabilities, we could now manifest these up into these virtual environments that companies were building. Now we could help companies protect entire virtualizations from the applications to the virtual machines, right through to the data that was being created. We made companies' virtual environments better. But now we're in the third wave. And the third wave is all about the cloud in kind of whatever guise that might be, private, public, hybrid, multi-cloud, hybrid multi-cloud, because we love as vendors to smash these terms together and create new ones. And data again becomes a bigger focus. What do we have? Where is it? Is it protected? Is it secure? Is it compliant? Can the right people access it at the right time, in the right place, and at the right speed? Making our on-premises platforms cloud connected or cloud integrated and enabling our technologies in the world's largest clouds means that we can now add real value and benefits to companies as they embrace cloud to equip their businesses with the speed and innovation necessary, not just to survive, but to thrive. All three waves continue, but people's focus changes as the biggest opportunities tend to be with the new wave that's building. I've been with NetApp as we've moved through these three waves, and I've seen how Data Fabric has evolved from an idea to a portfolio of technologies and partnerships that can really equip companies to thrive in this third wave. I remember Insight in 2014 when we announced Data Fabric as our strategy, and I think we've made huge progress since then. And I'm sure there are a few of you that remember this moment from that event. But now I'd like to introduce a surprise guest for you, our CEO, George Kurian, who introduced the term Data Fabric 6 years ago now. So hi, George, and thank you for joining our Data Fabric mega session today.
Hi, Matt. Good to see you.
So looking back on when we announced Data Fabric, could you give our audience a sense of just how much NetApp in the industry has changed during that time?
What we've seen over the last few years is that our strategic hypothesis of data being at the heart of businesses and hybrid cloud being at the heart of IT architectures absolutely has played out. In fact, over the last few months with COVID-19, we see businesses accelerating data-driven digital transformation and deploying data fabrics together with NetApp. So I'm super excited. What I'm also been impressed is that NetApp ourselves has transformed over the last few years into a cloud storage specialist. Most importantly, we now introduce new versions of our flagship operating system, ONTAP, as public cloud data services first, learn quickly from the experience there, and then introduce it on our systems. So super excited to see the transformation of business and our customers and NetApp ourselves.
That's great. And it feels to me like our progress in terms of the capabilities that we can help customers build into their data fabrics has really accelerated. I mean, maybe you could share something about where you see this heading in the future.
We're clearly seeing an accelerating pace of innovation. We did the really hard work of getting our operating system optimized for the leading public clouds. And now that we've done that, we're combining that platform with new capabilities, both organically developed and inorganically. For example, data fabrics allow you to get the right data to the right place at the right time. And now with the acquisition of Spot, we now allow you to take that data deployed in the data fabric and combine it with an application-driven infrastructure that allows those data services to be run in the most efficient manner possible on the public clouds. So I'm super excited. We're co-innovating organically and inorganically with our big public cloud partners as well. And so our customers and the industry at large should see an acceleration in the capabilities of data fabrics going forward. Super excited.
Well, that's really great to hear, George. And thank you very much for joining us for the session today.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you to all of you.
So you love them for their great movies that entertain you and your families, and we love them as a wonderful example of bringing a data fabric to life. So now we want to introduce you to a long-time NetApp customer and engineering partner whose data fabric is fundamental to the creation of the CG animated films. Please welcome Jeff Weick, the CTO of DreamWorks Animation.
Hi, Matt.
Jeff, great to have you here. So DreamWorks is known for a long time that you're a data-driven business. So how is your data fabric an important factor as it relates to supporting CG animation production and studio operations?
Well, Matt, data is very important to making of our films and TV shows. Our data is everything. It's both our end product in the images that you get streamed to your home or you see in the theater, as well as all of the components that go into the creation of those images. In a typical feature animated film, eventually uses about 500 million digital files. These digital files are little pieces of information, whether it's an animation curve, a model, a texture, surface file, that is created by artists, and they're assembled, improved upon, and iterated for 2 to 3 years until the final image is created. One of the things, to give you a little bit of context of the complexity and scale of that is, because we release 2 to 3 films per year, there's probably 9 to 12 films that are in production at any given time, all building to that size of 500 million data files. So you can see our data is super important to us. It's everything that we do, and the security and automation and analytics around and protection of that data is critical to how we do business.
Yeah, it's amazing numbers. So we know that DreamWorks has been using NetApp solutions as a part of your data fabric infrastructure for nearly 20 years now, but this year was different. What role did your investment in NetApp technology play in positioning your studio's shift to a more of a remote working environment during the pandemic?
That's true. DreamWorks has been a customer of NetApp's for over 20 years. In fact, every CG animated film that we've produced has been done with NetApp's gear. But yeah, this year was different. In March, on a Thursday, we were trying to figure out what was happening with this pandemic. The safety and health of our artists is our highest priority. So we sent people home, not realizing that 7 months later, we'd still be working from home. But we quickly pivoted to this work from home situation. In fact, by Monday, we had most of our artists working from home. And by Wednesday, we had everybody working successfully and safely at home. And a lot of the work that we've been doing with NetApp on a hybrid cloud journey has really positioned us to be able to pivot to work from home so easily. We were already working with technologies like containerization and doing remote analytics using ActiveIQ. We were using different solutions from NetApp, like their ONTAP in the cloud. So all of that preparation for using the cloud and going to the hybrid mode has set us up easily to work from home.
That's great as well. Thank you. So do you envision any of the current circumstances of influencing the future of where your data fabric is now headed?
We've been working with NetApp as part of our engineering partnership in this hybrid cloud environment of how we extend our data fabric from on-premises into the public cloud. So we felt pretty positioned in that. It was something that we saw as an optimization, something that we eventually wanted to go to. But with the pandemic, it really made what was an opportunity into a necessity. And that is how we're going to work in the future. So if anything, it's really accelerated this transformation to hybrid cloud.
So thank you very much, Jeff, for joining me today. And thank you to all of DreamWorks for the joy that you bring to us through the wonderful stories that you bring to life.
Thanks, Matt.
Okay, let's keep this moving. So now it's on to our lightning round, where we get to ask the experts for their opinion on the future. You met all of them during the Innovation Hour, so joining me again is Mecca Williams, Garrett Muller, and Lavi Ferdman. So my first question to you all, what could the data fabric do or enable for test ecosystems, ones that have a long legacy like the one we use to test ONTAP?
Well, this is the dream, really, right? So the data fabric can help us realize the full potential of testing in a hybrid multi-cloud test ecosystem. So I envision a test harness that sees the hybrid multi-cloud as a full pool of resources, and the test harness itself can make decisions on where to land requests for jobs based on information from Cloud Insights and Cloud Analyzer, and on characteristics like performance, availability, and cost, and determine where those jobs should go logically. And then on the back end, the metadata and the ASAP type data can be fed back into the ecosystem, providing more efficiency as well as better software quality. So us getting that continuous optimization right there in our ecosystem.
I agree, Mecca, and that's all very cool. I think the other thing that we need to think about is the state, all the state that's involved in a test pipeline and its various stages, right? You've got the source code itself, you've got the builds, incremental builds on top of that, the ability to push those builds around into different environments to test at scale. Snapshots and clones and all those technologies we've taken for granted for years can make all of those stages way better, more efficient, faster. And we've lived it every day in ONTAP. And part of why I built the containers team back in 2015 or 2014, 2015 is in order to be able to deliver all of those capabilities directly in the hands of end users through Trident and now Project Astra as well.
I completely agree with you, Garrett. I would just add one last thing, which is when we're looking and talking to big enterprise companies or anyone that is doing migration to the cloud, they are pinpointing dev and test workloads as the first candidates for migration. And there is a good reason. It's very easy to do it. It's scalable. It's very cost efficient, but you need to be very careful how to manage that. And I'm talking about really matching the right infrastructure for that. If it's the right storage, if this is the right compute, you need to scale it based on the developer's demand. You need to make sure that you can also scale it down when there is no demand in the weekend or night. And also, this is a great candidate for running on excess capacity and different pricing options that can save you a lot of money in the public cloud.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks for your thoughts on that. So, in a world where Kubernetes has basically become the dominant solution for managing containers, what do you think are the biggest challenges that developers are facing right now?
Yeah, that's a really great question, Matt. And I think I'm really excited, right, and proud to see what the Kubernetes community has really done over the past several years in order to make that a stable foundation on which we can build. Right, all the workloads started stateless. There was arguments at the beginning that stateful was too hard, so we're not going to do that. And I think the work that we started with the Trident team in cooperation with our partners upstream, other vendors as well as partner communities, has really made that possible, and our customers really love it. There are still gaps, of course, in more complicated stateful applications, the ability to protect those, to run those across multiple clouds, and a lot of those gaps are things that we're going to be able to fill now in a very exciting way with Project Astra.
On top of that, I have to say, Garrett, that when I'm talking to developers, I see one big challenge, and this is around the resource allocation and matching and scaling the right infrastructure for that. Because developers already figured out how to develop microservices, how to run them in containers, how to inject that into their CI/CD pipeline of choice. But then what about resource allocation and scaling? How do I know what amount of resources do I need for my application? How do I know to scale my infrastructure based on that? And this is what we're doing at Ocean. We have this serverless engine for Kubernetes that can match exactly the best blend of different instance types and sizes to the workload's endless change demand, and basically optimize it to the fullest and let the developer focus on developing his next big thing.
Well, yeah, there have been lots of advancement in this space, and it's been really great, but taking a step back a little bit, legacy monolithic applications that need to move and migrate over to containerized workloads and microservices still have a pretty steep on-ramp for using Kubernetes. And so it's not as easy to do, and there's a lot of prep work and a lot of knowledge ramp up that has to still happen. So that can still be quite a bit of a challenge.
Yeah, that's really good, and I wish I could talk to you guys for an awful lot longer, but but I want to ask you this last question, and we don't have a lot of time, but Kubernetes has evolved very quickly in the last several years. I mean, it's gone from no one was really talking about it to it's the only thing people are talking about. So, what do the next few years look like, and what do you think makes NetApp uniquely equipped to make that successful for companies?
I fully agree with you, Matt. Back in 2018, when we started to talk about Ocean and finding a good solution for Kubernetes, every conversation with a customer looked like we're either testing Kubernetes, already run it in development, or fully running production mission-critical application on top of Kubernetes. And I think at the beginning, customers started to run web applications and stateless applications on top of Kubernetes. But today, we see Kubernetes much more mature, much more advanced, that you can actually migrate stateful applications, traditional workloads, and really make it as the standard management environment for your applications. And the way that we look at it here at Spot, we want to close this gap for the developers between the application demand and the infrastructure itself. talking to the application performance monitoring and look at those metrics in order to allocate the right resources for your application and containers, and based on that, match the right infrastructure. I think this is the nirvana that developers are looking for, and this is what we are delivering on top of Ocean in order to let the developers really focus on their business and bring innovation to their companies.
Totally agree. I think all of this will lead us to a place where more and more applications are moving their workloads to using Kubernetes, as well as us seeing Kubernetes working and being used in places where we don't usually see them, like on the edge. And then, like Lavi said, more statefulness, more maturity in that space. So we'll continue to see growth in that space. And NetApp has such a rich history of providing data management services that it really puts us in a great position to be a major player in this space.
That's exactly right, Mecca. And just building on what you were saying there, I think it's important to remember that we've taken a journey, a similar one before, on the path to virtualization. There were a lot of questions, the same kinds of questions about, do you run stateful workloads on virtualization? And we moved on that journey, we took everybody along on that journey as well, and very successfully. We had this early start with Trident Upstream. We know the problem space very well. And it's more than just storage. We're monitoring Kubernetes with Cloud Insights. We're optimizing it with Spot and Ocean, like Lavi was talking about. And we also have application management with Project Astra as well. So it's very exciting to see all this come together and bring it to you.
And that's great. Thank you ever so much for all your answers today. It's been very enlightening. So I'd like to thank Mecca, Garrett, and Lavi for joining our lightning round and for sharing their insights. Going back to the three waves I discussed at the start of this session, there's one thing that stands out to me probably more than anything else, and that's speed. George has mentioned many times that speed is the new scale. And when I think about our own innovation, then it's quite clear that the cloud is enabling us to significantly accelerate our progress on Data Fabric. When we acquire a company because we want to bring their capabilities into the Data Fabric, or when we're building new cloud-based capabilities, this now often happens in a matter of a few weeks or sometimes even just days. This is now the normal when we think about the expectations on our businesses. The cloud gives us tremendous potential to accelerate the development of new applications, new services, and to be able to rapidly scale these to meet the needs of our customers. We all need to learn new skills. We all need to accept that much of what we've been doing, we won't be doing in the future. During my career, I've been given lots of good advice, but I think the one that really stands out for me was this. By the end of this year, you should try to make your current role redundant. Now, I know that may sound harsh, but the reality is, if I'm not constantly evolving, if I'm not finding ways to stop doing some of the things I currently do in order to find the new things that are better for the company and better for myself, then we're not moving forwards. I hope that you've seen something during Insight this year that has maybe piqued your interest or given you a spark of an idea. But now it's over to you to do something with it. If you leave this event and do nothing, then why did you attend? Myself and every single person that is presented or demoed during Insight would like to ask you to do something because you are here. Learn something new. Have a conversation you wouldn't normally have. We'd all like to believe that at some point you'll do that thing you thought of, and you'll look back on this and feel that this was a really good use of your time.
I'd like to bring in James Whitemore back into the program. James, how about that, huh?
I just want to take a moment and say thank you. First up, thank you to our sponsors, all of the partners who have made this possible. It would not have been possible to pull this off without our sponsor company. So thank you so much. I also want to say thank you to our customers, from data center to cloud, who've taken time out of their days to spend with us. I want to say thank you to our partners. We wouldn't be able to do what we do without our partner companies. And I want to say thank you to all of the NetAppers out there who helped make this event possible. You all worked so hard on it. So thank you. Come back and join us next year. Who knows where we'll be doing it next year, but we will be doing it next year. So come back and join us.
James, thank you so much. And I'd like to thank NetApp for inviting me to Insight. And thanks to all of you for your engagement and participation while you were meeting the specialists and learning how to unlock the best of cloud. I'm Lena Wynn. Have a great day, everyone.